what I just did right there was called the vac kill. That's where you get their vacuum out and you basically kind of kill the idea about, that's why we call it a kill, is because you're killing the idea or the principle behind a regular vacuum. You're killing the idea. The principle doesn't work. It's not healthy, okay? Now, the next thing that I talk about is I say, well, folks, it's bad enough that it blows that stuff out in the air, as we've just seen, right? Okay, but why do you get your vacuum out, Laura, and push it around? What are you trying to accomplish?
Cleaning.
Trying to get the dirt out, right? Well, if it didn't clean, Tony, on top of the fact that it's blowing it all over your home, okay, what good would it be to you?
None.
Kind of be a waste of our time, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, see, vacuums actually normally, often, most of the time clog,
Good boy.
and they actually reduce your cleaning efficiency. Okay, to kind of explain to you why that is, most of us, including myself, when I was growing up, we all thought that the way a vacuum cleaner cleaned was this word that starts with an S. And what do you think that word is? Okay, all right. All right. And you're right. We've all been taught that the way a vacuum cleaner is by suction. So let's take this hose, plug it in the front here, and what we do is turn this on right here. And what do I have? I have plenty of water. Plenty of suction, okay? Plenty of it, right? We're going to stop after this part. We have plenty of suction, okay? Now, if I stick this on my neck, I'd have a hickey, right? My girlfriend would want to rub in, right? Okay? But the reality is, a vacuum doesn't actually clean by the word suction, okay? The way a vacuum really actually cleans is by what we call air. So we're going to stick this little tube on here. I want you to be able to see through it. So you can't see through the pipe. All we need to do is just extend the pipe. Does that make sense? Now feel again. We got what? Suction. Okay? Let's stick this in there. What do you feel?
Air.
You feel air, don't you? Feel it? Okay. So this is suction, and this is air. Right? Okay. Now, if I take this cloth right here, and I hold it by the edge, what's pulling the cloth into the tube? Air, right? Air is what pulls the cloth through the hose, right? Okay? Now I actually slipped and let go of it, but that's okay, alright? Don't tell the company I did that, alright? They charge me for this. Anyway, okay. She's laughing, but anyway, they say, really? And I'm like, no, not really. I'd be broke by now, but anyway, so the reality is we pull air through the tube, and air is what pulls the cloth through there, right? Now let's look at the other word, though. Let's take the other word. What was that other word called?
Suction.
Okay, let's take this top cloth, stick it in the very end of this tube right here, okay? Now if I stick this in the end of the tube, and I put my hand over, I'm going to have what?
Suction.
Okay. And I got plenty of it, right? Is it going to move the cloth? Not, is it?
Brantley,
Because what's not going through the hose?
lay down.
So in order to have suction, how much air do you have? None, right? See, there's no air. If you take a suction cup and stick it to a window, you have suction, right? And the reason it's stuck is because it creates a seal, right? How does air go through the hose? It can, right? Okay. So if I picked up a bowling ball, you'd be impressed. But if I had dirt on the bowling ball, would it move the dirt? It wouldn't, right? What moves the cloth? Air moves the cloth, right? See, suction didn't move the cloth. Air moved the cloth. Okay? So, if I take this cloth, and I'll lay it right here in my hand. As a matter of fact, lay it out in your hand if you would, okay? Now, I want you to don't let go of it. They ain't going to charge me, I promise, okay? I'm not going to have to touch your hand in the second cloth right now. What pulled that cloth into that hose?
Air.
So what actually picks the dirt up off the floor? Is it the suction or is it the air? It is, isn't it? Okay? Now, if we know that air is what's actually cleaning our floor, okay, then I think you would have to agree that the tool or the vacuum that had the most air going through it would in reality be the best vacuum. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that, Tony? Because if air is what picks up the dirt, the one that has the most air going through it's going to clean better, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure that we confirm that. That is huge, okay, because I committed you again. Each part of the demonstration is kind of a commitment, okay?
Yeah.
But I'll say, okay, But from a lawyer, if you've ever been to a trial, there's an opening statement and a closing statement. Well, each part of your demonstration, there's an opening question and then there's a closing question. The opening question in the vac kill was if you found something in your home, and then I came back to it and I closed with that. Okay. My opening question to the mini vac was if it was not cleaning and blowing the stuff around your house, what good would it be to you? No good, right? Okay. Wouldn't even make sense to push it around, would it? No. So what I'm going to come back to at the end, I'm going to come back to that same question in just a minute. I promise you, you'll see it. In other words, I opened with it and I'm closing with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to build me a little miniature vacuum. Now this right here is the test part of the demonstration to see if you were paying attention to me. Okay. You ready? Okay. We said a vacuum had to have 4 parts. Do you know what they are?
Exhaust.
Okay. All right, hold on. So let's pretend this is a little miniature vacuum. This would be the beginning, and then the exhaust would be down here at the end of the hose, right? Okay, because, all right, that's one thing. What's the other thing?
Intake.
Now, a customer, I'm telling you, I joke like this at a customer's home, and they're like, I was like, y'all wasn't paying attention to me, was you? Was you really paying attention to me? Was I talking to the, no, I say no. I wouldn't get a test either, okay? But sometimes people will just spit it right out. Intake, motor, bag. I was like, okay, man, you was paying attention. You must have got A's in school. So my point is, there's nothing wrong with having fun. But let me ask you this question from a dealer standpoint. If you can answer those questions, what are you doing? You're listening to me. Yeah. If you can't answer those questions, your mind went somewhere else a few minutes ago. Does that make? All right. Again, I check on y'all through my demo to make sure you're paying attention to me. Anyway, all right, they'll say an exhaust, and I'm like, okay. And what's another one? And they'll say a motor, and I'm like, okay, well, there would be a little motor right here, but we're just going to use the rainbow as our motor, if that makes sense, okay? All right, what's the next thing? A bag or a filter, right? Okay, so sometimes they'll say, what's this? They'll say a cloth, and I'm like, yeah, but what's in a vacuum? A bag. And I'm like, okay. Then sometimes I'll say, here, let me let you cheat. What's the 4 parts again? I was like, I really am, Laura, like that. Okay, but anyway.
I know.
Okay, but anyway, you have to have a bag or a filter. Let's stick this on the end right here. Okay. And then the next thing I got to have, is the last thing, which is the thing on the floor, which is the intake, right? So I got an intake, a bag, a motor, which would be right here, and then the exhaust. Now, when we're in the room, Tony, and we're sitting here, in other words, because we're alive, what are we doing? We are breathing. Okay, all right. So we're going to fetch us a couple of these little claws out of here, and this is going to be our lungs, or our nose, either one, okay? Because we're breathing, and that's where the air goes in, right? Okay? So this is going to be like our lungs, or our nose. And we're going to put the first cloth behind the exhaust of the dry system, because this would be the exhaust, right? Okay. So I know our nose and our lungs aren't this close, okay, but we're going to have to put us here for demonstration purposes. Now, we got this on. We turn this on. Now, we said a minute ago what, please? All right. So put your hand over like that and tell me what do you feel? Okay. And the next thing we got to have is, we said, the suction was the other word, okay? So we've got suction. We got air, right? Okay. Now let's do some cleaning. You won't be to clean your floor, don't you? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question as I'm down here. I push this a couple of 3 times across the floor. And let's say you were going to pave me.
The clean?
Right. That would sound good. Okay. But I only cleaned up one little area. How much would you pay me?
Quarter.
Oh, you pay me something? All right. No, I'm joking. And my point is this. How much more would you want me to do?
All of it.
Right. How much can I do?
Not much.
What about all?
Air. Suction.
So would it make sense for me to push this around on the floor? Okay. Now you said we lost suction, but guess what we still have? We still got that, right, Tony? What don't we have?
Airflow.
Right. What did you say, Clint?
Airflow cleans.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what happened. So most people think, well, that little bag or that whatever's full, right? Look, nowhere near full, is it?
Mm-mm.
And not even half full, is it? If there's a cup of coffee, we definitely want more in it. So my point is this. What do we do to the holes in the filter or the bag?
We clogged them up.
How does air go through
Do y'all
here?
ever vacuum in here?
I put it out here so we'd have something to clean up.
No.
But the reality is this. Let me ask you this. How much more can we do any cleaning with this?
Mm-mm.
Now, let me ask you a question, Laura. When's the last time you vacuumed this spot?
A couple days ago.
How many days?
Couple.
Couple of days? Okay, all right. Sometimes they'll say right before you got here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. Sometimes they'll say a week.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter to me what you say. It really, truly doesn't matter. Okay. But I ask them right here, when's the last time you vacuumed? And if they said a week ago, I'd say, okay. Now we put a new bag or a new filter in. What have I got?
Airflow.
Got air in it, right? And we already know we're going to have this. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, we're going to vacuum in the same spot again. And again, we're going to take about 3 or 4 strokes. What's going?
Here.
Again, can I clean?
Did you clean?
Can I clean anymore?
Oh,
Even if I have suction?
no.
See, as long as there's a few holes in this open, it'll suck it up in my arm. When I do any cleaning. Okay? So would it make sense to push this around? Well, it wouldn't. Does it make sense for you to push it around? Doesn't really seem to. You see, let me ask you a question. Even though you vacuumed a couple of days ago, is there any way in this world do you think all this dirt right here has come into that one spot in the last 2 days?
No.
There's no way it did it? Now, how long has this carpet been down?
A long time.
Okay. How many times you vacuumed it?
Hundreds.
And what's still there?
Dirt.
It's not that the dirt's there, Laura. That's not what is important. What I'm here is to explain to you why it's there. You see, you put a new bag or a new filter in it, and for about 15 minutes, you can clean your floor. I don't deny that at all. Tony, you can, right? But 15 minutes probably wouldn't get you out of this room. Okay? So what are you doing with the rest? Okay? Right. And to make it worse, Tony, we vacuum, and then what do? We put this in the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get it back out, turn it on, and think we're going to clean. Oh, we clean it. Not on it. If there was a 10 horsepower motor right here, a 20, 100 horsepower motor, would it pull air through here? So it ain't the size of the motor. If the bag or the filter's clogged, it just can't clean.
Right.
Because what's not going through it, Tony?
Air.
Correct. Okay? If you vacuumed a week, a month, a day, it doesn't matter. The tool you're using can't get it out, Tony. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Laura, again, the reality is you're trying, and I'm not saying that you're not. Now, people would say, well, Terry, I've got a bag inside of a bag. Yeah. Watch this. We said a minute ago, one of two things is going to happen. One of two things. The bigger particles are going to clog it up, like we just see, right?
The smaller ones.
And the smaller ones are going to do what?
Go through it.
And do what we just seen when we turned it on, which is
Blow the dust everywhere.
come back out in the air for us to breathe. Now, I know our mouth and nose isn't that close, because if it was, we would have been dead by now, I promise you, okay? But the reality is this. What's coming out the back end?
Mm-hmm.
And what are we really breathing while we're in the road?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't stick your nose in there and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
But every time we turn it on, we are.